Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums. As I, Captain Stephen, I have a bit of news for you. Heck yes, well, it's a bit of a leak, a bit of a weird one, chums in the viewerverse. Here we go, I'm going to hit it up. Executamundo. Important announcement, chums. Right, so this information inside of this video came from an anonymous source, and it also came from over on PT's stream that he did. I put a card at the top of the screen so you can go check that one out. But yeah, it all came through different various sources. So this was on 4chan, but it was also placed on the Reddit for No Man's Sky the game at one stage, but was removed rather promptly, and that sort of raises an eyebrow. Heck yes it does. But anyway, I would say take all this information with a pinch of salt. It has come from a leaker, and when you see the actual text and how it's formatted, I don't know how legit it is. So Downfall is the name, apparently, of this new summer update, if you want to believe this leak. But here we go. So here we go. The next update will be a combat update, focusing on a new alien race. The centre of the universe, or verses, better progressions. They have been updating combat a bit, but expect a very big overhaul combat system. Then it mentions sort of cities, etc. See, I don't really understand how it goes from combat and an overhaul of combat to then mentioning sort of cities. It doesn't go into what these cities are, whether they're going to be proc-gen cities or anything, but there are mentions of dungeons, which we'll get to as we progress through this video, so yeah. But if you've got any thoughts at any point of this, start putting them in the comments. Just start writing your comment now as we go through. Just keep updating your comment or something. But yeah, I'd love to read what you make of all of this sort of leaky stuff. The expeditions will be more hints at this. Okay, well, none of the expeditions so far have been, really. They haven't sort of alluded to much, to be fair. They worked on this since 2019, just before Beyond dropped. Interesting, we have seen a few things, like say the flamethrower attachment appearing in game, which was probably a bit of an accident, maybe an early leak of what was to come. You know, the mech has got that sort of feeling to it as well. Now they have been sticking things inside the verse, which I don't know whether have been there since day dot. It's like this sort of like little barcode that you're seeing on here, this little QR type code on the back on my backpack. Now that we've been deciphering some of the text that we saw by the egg machine, you know, the genes thing and all that, and also the tablet at the back of this new station has got some text that you can translate and things. I've been looking around a little bit more. Maybe my eyes were a little bit shut to it before now, but I'm seeing, say, that little marker appearing in all sorts of strange places, like even on the Sentinels. So it's on my backpack, but it's also on this Sentinel Hound that you can see hanging up over there, the Sentinel Quad. There you go. I can't get all that close to it, actually. I might be able to do it with my analysis visor, so if I come out of camera mode and use my analysis visor, I might be able to show you, but it's almost identical to the one on my backpack, just there. On the actual shoulder of that droid. You might be able to see that. I'm not too sure. I've tried to zoom it in best I can for you guys through my analysis visor. But yeah, you'll be able to have a better look yourselves. But there you go. A little bit of oddness just to sort of spice this up at the start. But I really don't know whether this is legit. Heck no. So something I've been speculating for a while is we might get some more Sentinel types. I mean, we did get the corrupted Sentinels when you blow open salvageable tech on planet surfaces, which was quite nice, but I was wondering whether we might get a bipedal Sentinel, you know, like a two-legged variety that almost looks like an NPC type player type thing. And wondering whether they might bring in a bigger Sentinel for when you hit the top star rating on a planet, because at the moment you just get a walker, and then the next level you get another walker, which is a little bit pointless. But anyway, this actual leak does mention improvement on AI Sentinels. They could have rephrased that first sentence, couldn't they, a bit? New Sentinel strongholds, which will basically work as you expect dungeons to work. They don't reset, and very good loot can be found here, working together. New Guardian Sentinel spawns in systems with the Atlas station. Basically a giant drone with a large weapon on top guarding the Atlas. That sounds freaking terrifying, but at the same time a little bit janky. Interesting concept. I hope that's a thing, to be honest. Storyline, a big new storyline update to tie in with the Abyss and Sentinels around 15 hours, 13 without timers, will also focus on the breakdown of this simulation. Loop 16 will be on its last minutes and seconds, literally and figuratively. Interesting. And it also mentions about weapons have been reworked, tech and balancing and better handling and all sorts of other stuff. New tech including frame throwers. Well, I mentioned this earlier. I have an incinerator input inside of my multi-tool. So here you go. I can use my incinerator and I can incinerate these sentinels. Take that. And you can see there that they have improved the explosions even on the actual sentinels. So where this chap says that they've been improving combat gradually, they have been, you know, I mean, it's like the explosion effects. And my haptic feedback on my joypad has been programmed for the flamethrower. If they were going to take it out, if it wasn't supposed to be there, they wouldn't have bothered with that, would they, for PlayStation 5? But it's there. So I do think this has got a little bit of validity. Heck yes. Now, I've brought the storyline one up to the forefront again, mainly because I didn't read the last two sentences there, where it says the last expedition will lead to the end of the simulation. A new update will come adding new variety and enhancing the entire game, which is pretty darn freaking sweet. I have read other sort of leaks to suggest that there might be a mirror universe which opens up, and then that solves all the sort of base builder type issues, and Hello Games can do whatever they like to that universe, which is an interesting concept. Whether that one's true, I don't know. Desolations brought us procedural dungeons on freighters, and this one mentions alien races, referred to as the Abyss. They are a hive mind and are proper contestants on land, sea, air and space. Space and ground outposts of the Abyss you have to clear. Weekend missions will focus on the Abyss and the many strongholds to get new rewards including base parts. Well, that's exactly what derelict freighters brought into the verse. And the funny thing is, on these derelict freighters, we have some of these sort of abyssy type looking weirdness creatures here. I mean, under the water, inside of the Abyss missions that we got, you know, the Tales of the Deep, you've got those weird one-eyed sort of monstrosities that sort of beam you in and hold you in place. Well, these sort of critters look like they're from that same sort of verse of where those sort of horrific eyeball creatures came from. And again, I'm seeing that freaking marking on these test tubes that's on my backpack and on Sentinels. So are these all interlinked? The Atlas brought in the Sentinels to help protect it. Maybe it's created this abyss by some sort of weird virus, hence the stamping on it. And then my backpack, I'm an anomaly sent in to sort of, you know, be the creator in reincarnation and simulation. So who knows, this could all be Atlas related and corruption related. So it kind of all starts to make sense if that's the case. And when you go inside of the Quicksilver Merchant, we've got these myth beacons. So maybe that ties into how we're going to be running Quicksilver missions in future. You know, at the moment they've got no rhyme or reason. However, if we fire up a myth beacon in the same way that we do for a beacon that brings in the derelict freighters right now, that would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? So yeah, weekend missions will focus on the Abyss and its many strongholds. It does make you wonder if we're going to be using those myth beacons to fire up this mission. We have mentions of the Void, we have mentions of the Abyss, and also the Realm of Glass. Could all these places be one and the same place? It does make you wonder, chums. Heck yes, it does. Or a mirror world or mirror universe. The word Void is appearing a lot more often than I noticed before. It's like there's a fair few ships that I'm seeing that mention Void within inside of their naming convention. We also have some items inside the Quicksilver shop that mention Void, and a chorus, a distant chorus or melody, including the Void Egg. And we have those living ships that we birthed into the verse using the souls of travellers, which makes me wonder whether travellers might become the new antagonist or even living ships. Heck yes. So here is one of those creepy little travellers right now, and when you're talking to these travellers up on the stations, they do sort of give you a bit of a chill. Some of the actual stuff that they say is pretty damn frickin' dark. Are they linked with a hive mind? They could be, they really could. However, then I just mentioned about the Void ships, and having a melody or some sort of tune. Perhaps the way that they communicate is through a hive sort of mind, some sort of frequency of tune. Who knows? But yeah, pretty damn freaking interesting. But also like the things that we see on the derelict freighters, those little scuttle bugs, or the ones around by buildings, they all sort of act in unison. They could be working on a hive sort of existence. Who knows? Yes, it does fill me with horror, my little traveller friend there. I say friend quite loosely. You're a freaking ghost. You're an echo. You're an NPC. And talking of NPCs, this actual leak mentions NPCs and that their AI is going to be tweaked. Oh my freaking days he's following me, people. So the NPCs will be overhauled to walk more naturally. This comes with a newer AI. NPCs will be able to attack you if you attack them, or have a low standing with them. NPCs will have bases on planets, basically dungeons, just like the Sentinel strongholds. So yeah, this is all over the place, really, chums. It mentions Sentinels having strongholds, NPCs having strongholds, and this new sort of alien hive mind perhaps maybe even has freaking strongholds. So yeah, I really don't know what to make of all of this, chums. At the end of the day, this could be just somebody that doesn't have anything to do with their time and making up a load of weird nonsense. So yeah, just take this with a pinch of salt, people. I'd love to hear what you think, though. Put it in the comments. And I'll put a link up there to PT's channel, so please go check him out, because he's an awesome source of news and weirdness like this. Heck yes, he is. So yeah, you guys out there have been freaking awesome. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you liked all this sort of stuff. It's a lot of food for thought. Heck yes, it is. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. I want to say a massive, great big thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And thank you to my backers over on Patreon and on YouTube membership. If you do want to support this channel, you could just not skip my adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or stay with Captain Steve a little bit longer and hit something on this screen. Heck yes, there's also merch on this screen now. Awesome!